Hello, my name is Dominik Nucum. I'm a Lionel University student in the Specialist in Strength and Conditioning course. For my case study, I worked with a 9th grade basketball player named Mason. Mason has been playing basketball for some time and has some experience in strength and conditioning programs already, so he has a great base of athleticism. Mason's season starts in October, which gives about 5-ish weeks for the program. For the video case study, we did a lower body workout. My focuses are explosive power, strength, speed, and agility. With what we want to do with Mason, a few things would just be improve the overall athleticism, kind of a more broad goal. And for specific goals, I would test that vertical jump and say we have that 5 weeks before his season starts. I would want to decrease that vertical by about 2, maybe 3 inches. And then I would test a 40-yard dash, and I'd want to decrease that time by 1 or 2 seconds within that given time frame. In the workout, I implemented plyometrics with low ground contact time to work on that stretch shortening cycle. I implemented a few more all-out kind of plyometrics, not necessarily focusing on the stretch shortening cycle, but focusing on power and acceleration. A good base for my program as well was implementing the contrast method, where I did some sort of heavy lift movement and then going into a plyometric movement that was similar biomechanically to work on that acceleration even more. I also did things on both legs and a lot of single leg movements. Again, being a basketball player, he's going to be maybe going for a layup, he's jumping off one leg, maybe coming down on one leg. Want to make sure he's powerful from those kinds of positions and making sure he wouldn't get hurt coming down in those positions as well. So the overall goal of the program is to lay that base with some max strength and then also make his acceleration a lot better so we can overall make him a more twitchy athlete.
Do a hamstring scoop, one leg out right here. I want the toe pointed up so you can feel it more in the calf a little bit, right? You're scooping down, go low, come back up, stand straight back up right here. You'll feel it a little bit in the hamstring, but I want that toe coming up a lot more so you can still feel it in the calf. Just butt kickers next. I do want it like a little bit more kind of like aggressive. Like a lot of times you'll see like people kind of just like go through the motions. I want to see you kind of like hit it, you know, like you're trying to drive into the ground and kick back up. With this one, just do the one opposite hand to the opposite leg, right? You can get a little bit of twist in if you need to. And then when you're coming back down, a lot of times dudes will slam their leg back down. I don't want to see that either. I want that kind of control coming on the back end, right? So you're coming right here, boom, soft lower, you know? So make sure I open up all the way. I like to imagine there's like a chair or something, you know? Coming all the way out and then come back down. Come sit down, 90 degrees this way, 90 degrees that way. All you're doing, keep your hands back here, boom, going both ways. Trying to activate your glutes a little bit, kind of get your hip flexors a little warmed up too, boom. Band right here, hands up on the wall, just come side to side out here, boom, boom. All right, we're gonna do skips next. It's kind of the same thing, getting a little bit of glutes in, a little bit of hip flexors in, right? This one's gonna be a little bit kind of like testing a little bit of your coordination too. We're gonna work on coordination and agility today. So you just boom, boom. It's gonna help with a lot of that like leg drive too. So if you're doing a lot of sprints and stuff, a lot of that sprint movements is like pulling this leg up. So getting it activated with the band is gonna work it a little better. This one, you go a little fast. Same thing with the bands. It's just high knees, right? Just, right? Same thing, working on that leg drive. And I kind of want you to get like the muscles starting to fire up a little bit more. Get it moving a little faster, you know? Elevate the calf we're gonna be working with. You're just kind of doing reps, right? Like a little calf extension, all right? And then, right? Especially if you're having like ankle problems or something, and for a workout like today, if we're doing stuff that we're gonna be like jumping, landing, and get a little bit of twist in, right? You get that ankle working in like different angles, essentially, right? Trying to get it warmed up and protect it from anything like getting hurt, right? A little bit. Have you done Pogos before? Yeah? Okay, cool, perfect. So with that, right, I want you to just keep your calves a little stiff, like you're not jumping and then landing and going, right? Like you're just, boom, like as soon as you touch, you're going back up, you know what I mean? Like a spring. Perfect. Next thing is tuck jumps, kind of the same concept, right? Like the second you land, you're coming back up. Again, as you're jumping, I want the knees to come up, right? So just boom, boom. Jump bounding, all right? The only thing that's different is like instead of just applying the force up, we're applying it up and out, right? So boom. Yeah. The next one's gonna be like the same thing. We're gonna be doing it like on one leg, right? Considering like basketball, like you're doing a lot of jumps off one leg and landing off one leg, so we wanna keep it primed and ready, right? So same thing, just boom. You know what I mean? Nice. Yeah, we'll do the build-up sprint, starting from over here, kind of be like that nice jog, and start ramping it up, right? Have that be between 50 to 60, have this be like your 75, 80, 90, right? And then top speed until you get to like that shadow right there, right? Light right here, pick it up, boom. There you go, start driving, drive. We'll do one out, boom. Slide right or left. One foot goes up, same thing. Boom, full speed, right? I wanna keep those arms moving, like the arms swinging while we're doing it. Keep the hips low, like you're staying in like an athletic stance, like you're sprinting, right? You know the pile drivers, like the construction workers use? I kinda want your legs to be like that, right? Like that's what I want you to imagine. There you go. Nice. You're gonna get both feet out, boom, right? And then go up to the next one. Both feet out. Boom. Perfect. So essentially you're gonna jump over, boom, and you're doing the same thing. Sliding, boom, boom. When you're jumping and then you're coming this way, right? I want you to get like a quick transition, all right? As soon as you land, I want you to try to shoot as fast as you can, all right? There you go. Perfect. It's kind of the same concept with what we're warming up with, right? Like, as you're jumping down, you're gonna fall into like the athletic position and shoot right back up, right? Right? Not really taking a pause like at the drop. Just as soon as you land right here, you're shooting right back up, all right? All right, on that transition, right? Like as soon as you land, I want it just a little bit quicker, all right? There you go. Same thing as a regular squat, right? Same setup and everything. Only difference is you're coming down, you're sitting down on the box. When you're sitting down, right, I don't necessarily want you to kind of like just get laxed. Like I want that core to stay tight, especially like, because when you get some weight on here, so if it's heavy weight and that core is kind of like too loose, fall forward, fall back, whatever, or you just get hurt. Variations, some people will just kind of come down, touch, and then shoot right back up. That's not what I'm looking for either. What I want here, right? You're coming down, boom, again, you're keeping that tight core. You're pausing for like a second. What I really want, right, is we're trying to work on this power from this position, and we're working on shooting up right here. That, all right?
Nice. Shoot up, there we go. Nice.
As soon as I'm touching the ground, like I'm in that athletic position and I want to shoot right up, right? So, boom, right? Come back down, land like athletic spot, reset yourself. Perfect. So if you don't need to like build up too much momentum, like this is pretty easy. Like go ahead and start kind of more like upright and then just go straight into it, all right? Perfect. Okay. The only difference with the way I want you to do this one is we're gonna get into like this split squat stance, right? So each time we're coming up, right? Still exploding. This back foot's gonna come up, right? That back foot's on the toe, but I want this front foot to stay kind of flat and planted, okay? Same thing with any other deadlift. I'm keeping like kind of my hips low, my chest as upright as I can be, right? Not bend my back, boom, boom. If it helps, for me, I'm squeezing the shoulder blades. That's helping me keep my back up and not bending forward, right? Boom. Nice. Perfect. Just coming down, boom, boom, boom. This one's a little different than the other plyo exercises we did. I'm not looking for the, you know, the immediate, right? I want a little bit of like time to get down to here and then shoot back up, all right? There you go. Put this like at your thighs right here, just above your knees. Because like when you're coming down a little bit, the knees are kind of coming in. The band, naturally, when something's pulling on it, your body's gonna wanna start pushing out, right? So with me putting the band on there, essentially I'm trying to get you to, yeah, like keep your knees coming out on the way down and back up, right? Perfect, there you go. All right, they kind of feel like it helped a little bit too? Yeah. All right, if you don't have one and you're doing something like that, right? Sometimes it helps like just kind of focus on keeping the toes like pointed forward, right? And that's gonna keep the knees in line also. That, and then like if you need to, you don't need to go like super wide, because if you go super wide, right, with the jump, chances are that's why like your knees might come in a little bit too. So you can kind of go just at about shoulder width. I'll stay at shoulder width, right? Again, toes are pointed forward. See how it works. Nice, it looks a lot better. There you go. Does it feel a little bit better too? It feels a little awkward though at first, huh? Kettlebell Bulgarians, right? So holding that kettlebell opposite to the leg, right? You can keep your arm out for stability. Same thing, coming down, working on this like single leg like stability, right? And also working on a little bit of core stability, since like this weight is only on one side. It's gonna challenge our core to kind of like stay upright, because naturally this weight is trying to pull me down, right? So engaging my core, boom, coming down, working on still that glute, right? All right, what I want you to practice with this one a little bit is come down like slow, right? Work on that like stability, coming down slow, and shoot back up as fast as you can, okay? Perfect, there you go. Nice.
Perfect.
So this one's gonna be an anti-rotational movement. So as opposed to us like working on twisting, we're trying to like do something that like we're moving a weight that's gonna make us wanna do that. We're gonna challenge ourselves to not like really twist our core, right? Especially engaging those obliques, right? With this one, the shoulders naturally are gonna come up top, right? They'll twist a little bit, but I want this central core here to stay the same, right? So boom, boom, right here. I bring it down as far as I can, just bring it back up, right? If you need to, you can like bend your knees a little bit, get into that little like athletic stance. Boom, boom. Engage those obliques, keep that core tight.
Yeah, pretty easy.
We're gonna get the hips involved a little bit more too, right? I'll show you on both sides. So we're gonna start right here. Boom, kind of facing this way, and then we're pulling it, boom, right? We're kind of transferring, right? We're like switching stances almost. Boom, we're coming all the way through this way. And a lot of it's gonna be in the hips, going from the hips up through the torso, right? Boom, twisting with it, all right? Here. Try to keep Your shoulders like a little bit more like upright, right? So you're coming here. What I want is this to kind of stay stable, right? I don't want to like kind of bend into it, right? That's where more of that like hip is gonna come in, the hip, and then the oblique.
Right? You need to bend those legs a little bit more if you need to, right? Boom, because that's gonna help get those hips moving a little bit more, right?
I like to make sure I'm pushing up against the wall, because for me it helps me get a better stretch, right? You're just getting this back calf right here, kind of leaning forward into it so you can feel that stretch. If you have something that's like elevated, like one of these kind of like step ups, I like to use those too, because it's gonna like pull that toe even closer, right? And get like an even further stretch for your calf. Your opposite leg tucked, right? At this kind of little angle right here. When I'm doing the hamstring stretch, I'd rather keep it like my toe at this 90. People will say like pulling your toe, get a better stretch. That'll start to get the calf. If you're comfortable with that, you can do that too. I'm keeping it right here, boom, because I want to really isolate the hamstring, because we can stretch the calf like on its. Some people will have you lay down. If you're more comfortable with this one's a pretty good stretch too, right? Because it's getting you all the way back here. So it's really getting that quad good, right? Like whatever, if I need to hold something stable or just stand right here.
Stretch even more, right? So on that one, it's kind of whatever you prefer. Do you use a foam roller or anything?
We're getting this one up, kind of like we're in a sitting position. Getting this like kind of figure eight, right? This is at 90 degree. All I'm doing is leaning forward, and I'm trying to get my glute to stretch right here, right? This is where you'll feel it.
You feel that stretch in the glute? Okay, perfect.
Few different ways to do this. Kind of like the bare basic one is kind of just getting into like the split squat. You're keeping your knee behind your toe, essentially. Keeping this front leg at a 90 degree. Keeping your chest straight up, and this is bending back, almost like a Bulgarian, right? Knee on the ground, right? And I'll bring my front foot a little bit more forward. That way I'm getting a little bit of a deeper stretch, so you can try that one too. So same thing with the Bulgarian, right? Almost. And then putting the knee on the ground also, right? This one's really getting like a further stretch right here. And same thing, there's
Some variations where people will go like all the way and their knees are starting to come over the toe. I don't do that. If you're feeling like this works just fine as is, right? If you're keeping it still like at a 90 degree and behind your toe, as long as you're feeling this stretch like right here, right? And the psoas muscles is called, right? The hip flexor.
this right here, boom, we're getting that good stretch on the adductor on that leg.